What's up? What's happening?
How are you guys?
Yeah, Friday Focus. We are here at Movement Fitness. My name is Justin. You know that because you're on my page. But this is Jimmy Mack. Jim McElroy from Food for Fuel. How you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you, dude.
Thanks
for being here.
Glad to be here.
This is amazing because for the past couple months, I've been doing the live videos. And this is the first time that, I've had a guest on. So
On the first one?
Well, technically, we've had Coach Liz, we've had Coach Teresa, my wife, and so super excited about that. But bringing in different people to try to prevent and try to create value and to help people to continue to push your lives forward and do the things that are important to you. And so going like, hey, you know what? I've got a perspective, but also there are other people that are doing amazing things in our community and throughout lots of places that could provide some value to our people. So what's up, Jay Bird, Rebecca Martinez? How y'all doing?
Hey, guys.
Happy Friday. So here's what's cool. Abby Lund is in the house. Here's what's amazing. Check this out. So my amazing wife, Teresa, and Aaron McKinney and some people this week, they got this office like cleaned up, like all set, beautiful, ready to go because it was a disaster and it was 100% my fault. I'm like our fault. Oh, dude, I'm like a hurricane. So I had like boxes and junk and stuff all over the place. And they're like, look, we're putting it all in binders. And then they set me up this beautiful little like background. So like Movement Fitness and the What Rocks. And look at this. We got the disco ball from Dancing with the Rockford Stars.
I don't do disco, just so you know.
I don't either. I'm neither a star nor a dancer, but they had me in there. So anyway, that's the deal. What's up, Emily? I saw Emily Benting last night. Yeah. So at the basketball game.
Emily, we out here. Okay, sorry, carry on.
Let's see. We out here live. Super excited. So we should have started with that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
That's
come
right.
in.
That's right. Want to restart?
Nah, we're live.
Yeah.
So, all right. So here's the deal. We are super pumped to get into some stuff with Jimmy Mack. Today, we have a couple of things that we are giving away. So comment away if you have something that provides you with value. Would love for you to share that with other people. You can hashtag Be Great Today, hashtag movement. And we've got our Movement Fitness stocking cap. We're going to give away one of those. And then we've got a Food for Fuel $25 gift card with a Jimmy bar inside. These things are amazing. This is what you got, a lemon bar in there? Oh, man. So that is super awesome. So we're going to give that away. What's up, Ethan Taylor?
Oh, Ethan's in the house.
In
What's
the
up,
house,
big dog?
Ethan. So, look at that. Jim getting some love.
Aaron Deere is working in the kitchen right now.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
Nice. All right, so here's the deal. Jimmy Mack is like, man, if you don't know Jimmy Mack and you're from Rockford, like you've been living in a hole because he is the man about town. He is killing it with his message. Like he's got a couple different things that he's really got going on. But before we get into that, like number one, Jim is just a good dude.
Thank you.
A good man. So he is just such a vibrant person, has a great personality that is just filled with hope and trying to spread a message throughout our city. So one of the things to share a little bit about Jimmy Mack. So you've been married to Christy, his wife Christy, for 25 years.
Yep, 25 awesome years.
25 awesome years. That's a long time.
That's good stuff. She's put up with this for a long time.
Woo!
Several years before we got married, we were dating too. My high school sweetheart.
Yeah, good for you.
Yep, good stuff.
Originally from New York.
Yep, upstate New York.
Upstate
Syracuse.
New York. Sweet. Okay.
Nice.
And then he's got 3 kids. So he's got Landis, Kinsley, and Chatham.
Yep,
So that's it. So we know Landis, we know Chatham. I haven't met Kinsley, so I don't know her, but we got the
She's
other two.
in the DR right now.
Oh, yeah?
Coming back today. She's on a missions trip.
Okay,
yep,
sweet.
Went out there for a week and having a blast. So
That's awesome.
Yep, good stuff.
Good stuff. Sweet. So, but that's a little bit about Jimmy Mack and his family. Like, so here's what's super cool about Jim is he's from upstate New York. So much like myself, like not from Rockford originally, but we are going, hey, you know what? We want to invest in this community. And looking back at like what he's done and what you've done and who you've been, like, you know, starting back going, man, you've had this message of be inspired, be inspiring. So that's kind of the thing you're going with Food for Fuel and building up.
Yep.
But also, I mean, your love, like in building in Rockford, like goes back to, days with the Ice Hogs, and you kind of like talk through that and what that looked like, and what was that for you?
Sure. So we've been here, my oldest, Landis, will be 24. So we've been here for almost 23 years now.
Wow.
And so we decided that when, and then we had Kinsley here and we had Chatham here. So we decided this was our home. This is where we were going to make a home. And so we heard a lot of people saying, less than positive things about Rockford. And we're just like, man, there's parks everywhere. There's golf courses everywhere. There's a lot of cool things, happening here. And so we did. And it all started with, we came out to work for Dick Barrett, Joseph Barrett Sons. And that was how we got here originally. Okay. And then somebody came into the office there one time and asked us if we were interested in buying Ice Hog tickets. I didn't know what Ice Hogs were, didn't know anything about it, right? And this is when the team first came to town. We've never been to a hockey game ever. Yeah. So long story short, we bought tickets just as a sponsor, our business, just to kind of help the community, be a part of that. We thought we'd go to a game. First game, I remember, I don't remember how long it was. I'm horrible at dates, but I remember the first game, Christy and I were sitting out on the front steps, and Landis, was really little. And we're like, we really want to go. It's a nice night. Probably was in October or September. And we ended up going. Fights galore at that game. I mean, fights galore. It was against Quad City Mailers, I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
Some of the Ice Hog fans on here will probably remember that better than I. But it was crazy, and I'm like, "Whoa, I love this!"
Hockey's amazing. These guys are just punching him in the face.
Let's go! So it was fun, and so then I realized though that we wanted to be a part of helping that, because I learned a little bit more about at the time it was called the Metro Center. Sure. And learned a little bit more about that, and so we wanted to be a part of that. Then time went on. We built a business called that's what we're doing now. We built a business called Revved Up. Sure. As a family fun center up in McChesney Park. Okay. And we had Bruin Electronics, and I also had reached out to the owners of the Ice Hogs at the time, because I had heard that they moved from city to city. They go in and get as much money as they can out of the city, and then they move. And so we reached out to the owners through the general manager at the time, who was Kevin Cummings, and we had mentioned that we would be interested in purchasing the team to help keep it here, so that it didn't happen, because we saw that was going to make an impact in downtown if that stayed, and it would make a significant impact if it left. You know? So we sat down. They wanted a ridiculous price, so I said, hey, call us if you ever need to sell it. We're not the guy to sell it if you want to sell it. We're the guy to call it if you need to sell it. So then we went ahead and did Revved Up, put a lot of money into that. That was back in like 2001. And then the commissioner of the UHL called me out of the blue. I didn't know who he was, but he knew that I was interested in buying the team, and said, hey, we got a little bit of a problem. Would you be interested? And so we talked, and I just said, hey, I don't have any money. I put it all into this business over here, but I can, if we can work out a deal and make it, work. So we did this real creative deal. Dr. T stepped up, Jeff Smith stepped up, and Julie Smith from Belvedere, Dr. T and his wife. So the three of us stepped up and really made it happen and kept the team alive. So super proud of that. And that was something that, I really think was an anchor in the revitalization of downtown. So proud of that. And that was something where I just put my foot in the ground and said, we wanted to make an impact. That's also why we built Revved Up, because I wanted a family fun center. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't really good. September 11th, 2001 set our business back, quite a bit, as it did a lot of people. So we went backwards quickly at that time, unfortunately. So there's a recovery stage after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was
gotcha.
Good.
That's awesome. Kept the Ice Hogs in town, so as a part of that. What's up, Jordan, Kirsten, Care Bear? How you doing?
Hey guys.
Dave, Tony.
Cheers.
What's up? Cheers. Happy Friday. So, so here, looking forward now. So fast forward a little bit, working on downtown revitalization, building up Rockford. How we do that? Then you come into Food for Fuel. So talk through just the process about a little bit about how that started and kind of the journey you've taken with that.
Sure. So there's a lot of stages in there, but what I'll share is what we talked about a little bit. There's a point when Food for Fuel, we're going into our 6th year now.
6 years.
So it's hard to believe, right? 6 years, but and we say with businesses, it's hard to start a business. Mm-hmm. It's harder to build momentum in any business, as you know, and it's hardest to get it to a point of sustainability. a lot of people say that it takes 5 years to get a business to, you know, strength and stability. We're not there yet. Food for Fuel is still in that momentum phase, and we love it. We're grinding and hustling every single day, and able to impact lives here in the community. I wish it was as easy as it looks sometimes, right? I mean, business owners out there, you hear me, right? Yep. Justin, you know.
I hear you.
So sometimes and that's our job though, sometimes is to make it look easier, right? On the outside than what it really is on the inside. So, but that's also like life. Life is, you know, has an awful lot of, and it has a lot of challenges. And so what happened, we had Food for Fuel going, and thought it was going really, really well. And I elected to get the knee replacement surgery that I needed to get, like, for years. I've had multiple surgeries on my knee. It ended up being May 20, I think it was May 25th, 2015 is when I had the total knee replacement. At that time, our business was about a year and a half old, and I thought that it was at the point where it was sustainable and that I could, you know, get this surgery and get it done and get it behind me and be able to recover. Unfortunately, being, you know, heavily on medication and in a lot of pain from a, you know, pretty rough surgery. This was an injury I had for, you know, since I was 18.
Not an easy recovery.
No,
like,
not at all.
It takes time, totally.
So I had to, you know, try to recover from that physically. Well, then mentally, as I saw my business go downhill really fast, it messed with me, you know, big time. And I tried to quickly get back into the business faster than I should have. I tried to quickly get off my medication faster than I should have. And I'm icing my knee while I'm, you know, putting it on a stool while I'm trying to cook on the grill, and then I'm icing it and I'm putting a, you know, bandage around it with an ice pack as I'm trying to go and do deliveries and pickups and all that stuff. And it just didn't work. So business went downhill fast. So then I was stuck with a rough decision because my identity soon became Food for Fuel and trying to be inspired and be inspiring and try to really help improve the health of our community. So then I was stuck with a tough decision. My doc said, you can't do this anymore. I mean, you're really going to mess yourself up. So I ended up taking a job at Oak Street Health. I was an outreach director down there. It's still aligned with my mission, which is to try to help Rockford or any other local city become a top 25 healthiest place to live, because I was in healthcare and I was able to try to connect people with good healthcare resources, you know. So I felt like that was okay. I did that for a while. I shut down the business. I went through some pretty serious depression.
What was that? Like, talk to you. Like, so look, I mean, the hard part is, it's like, you talked about, we try to make things good, look good. And, you know, we do that through Facebook, we do it through Instagram, whether you have a business or whether you're like just my personal life. Like, we try to make, hey, everything's great, all of our great pictures and snapping videos and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden you go like, man, we got to stop. Like, that's tough, right?
I think we sugarcoat a lot. I think we fake it till we make it a lot. I think that, you know, unfortunately, social media, as wonderful as it is, it also is that most people only post the best of the best.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the filters on their pictures, whether it's on their, you know, they just received an award, whether, you know, so nobody is willing to put themselves, not many people are willing to put themselves out there. And be transparent. I mean, the reality is, we're all struggling with stuff. A lot of us have anxiety of some sort. A lot of us have depression of some sort. A lot of us have, you know, some things that are holding us back. And usually, I think we find that if we are transparent and we connect with people with similar situations, it actually is inspiring and hopeful and helpful. Right? And where it's easy to get caught in a quagmire of doom and gloom when we just sit there and do this, I call stinking thinking in our head, and we don't want to share. But then all of a sudden, you know, we just want to share something wonderful on Facebook, but we sit over here, right, and we're still dooming and glooming, you know? And so I did go through a rough phase. And that was when I lost the business, you know, and I shut it down for a little while, and I'm like, man, what am I going to do? And I remember this very vividly. It was after church. There was a time when Christy and I, you know, I was just being agitated about everything. And so I just was sitting outside our back patio after church, and I'm laying there. I'm looking up on the sky. I'm laying on the bench, and Landis comes out, and Christy comes out, and they're like, you know, Dad, what's wrong? Jim, what's wrong? And I just was like, just shaking my head like nothing. And really what it was is I was big time depressed because Food for Fuel was shut down, and Food for Fuel was something that I was so passionate about. And so but the need for me to provide for my family needed comfort. I mean, we've gone through lost businesses, lost houses.
Sure.
You know, we've gone through that before. It's a painful experience, and it is really hard to come back from if you're not positive. And you know, but we went through that, and it was tough for my family, and so I didn't want to have to, you know, take the risk of that happening to them again. They really needed the comfort and the solid stability. And so, and that's what the job in the corporate world did provide for us. You know, it was good for them, but it didn't provide what I needed. And they realized that, and they're like, Landis and my wife both were just like, you know what? We believe in you. We know that when you're passionate about something and you get fired up about something, you can make it happen. We will help you. We will support you. We would rather, and they're like, you know, trying to tell me that I'm a great dad and I'm a great husband. I'm like, but I don't feel my bucket, you know, being full. So we live to serve, you know, and I really feel like that's a calling, and not only my family, my wife and my kids, but also in the community that we're here.
Totally.
So, really wanted to get Food for Fuel going again. And, they gave me that oomph. They gave me that push to do it. So it was in, July of 2016. Is when we decided we were going to go ahead and restart the business. And, you know, it's hard to start a business, like we said, harder to get the momentum and harder to restart. Well, to get to sustainability, but we had to restart it again. I had all the support from them, but I was doing a full-time job and full-time Food for Fuel to get it up.
Side hustle.
So, right. And then, and then it was in May of 2017. Where I resigned from my position, and I had given several months notice, but resigned from my position and went back full-time into Food for Fuel. And we've been just serving the community with extreme passion ever since.
Absolutely. Well, that's super, that's inspiring for me. When we talked about this the other day, we call this thing like transparency and trajectory, because when you think about our lives, when we are transparent, excuse me, let me back up. When our transparency matches our trajectory of life. So when we look at talking about transparency, like how much you tell people, how much you invite them into your life, what do? Do you have friends? Do you have a group of people? Like all of that. How does that look in your life? And generally that impacts where you're going. If you invite people in, you know, it allows them to go, hey, you know what? I want to help you. Like I want to jump in. I want to be a part of your mission. I want to help you to get to wherever you want to go, whether it's a business or just your personal life. And thinking through, like, the more open and honest you are, the more your trajectory goes up. But the natural tendency for us is to go, I can do it on my own. Right. Like, I can do this, or I don't need anybody else. Or if we get down or depressed, like often, like you were talking about, sitting on the deck going like, no, man, just, you know, whatever, it's all in me. Yeah. Like that just sends us down into the spiral of like, oh my gosh, like there must be something wrong with me, or I'm just going to hold all this in, and that just breeds negativity.
It does.
And if we allow ourselves to stay in that spot, then we just get negative, and then I mean, there's no way. If you stay within yourself, there's no way Food for Fuel takes back off. You know, when I get down, like there's no way that I'm at my best, or our business is at our best, or my family, or being a dad, or whatever. It just doesn't look the same. And I think that's one of the things that I love about Jim. And if you have seen anything that he's done, like he talked obviously about a story, like, you know, he's talked about a couple of opportunities where he's fallen flat, you know, already. And when you think about that, like, it's hard to put that out on social media, but you also go, this is where people want to jump in and they want to help. So it makes a huge difference in your lives. If you look at like the Sprint to Challenge groups that you do, and helping people get confidence and build back into a fitness and a healthy lifestyle routine with food and going to different places.
We see big time difference in people's mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good.
Absolutely. So, by the way, so we got a $25 Food for Fuel gift card that we're giving away, and a movement beanie. Hashtag be great today. Hashtag movement. What's up, Nate? What's up, Pat? Guillermo? Rocio, how y'all doing?
Hey, Jordan, I see you, buddy.
Yeah, Jordan Chance. What are you most proud of right now? Like, what do you?
Well, I think, I mean, there's a couple of things. Of course, I'm proud of my 25-year marriage with my wife. I'm proud of my 3 kids. I mean, you know, and we should be. There's a couple of things that, you know, helping keep the Ice Hogs in town. We talked about that a little bit. Yep. I also was invited back when the team, and I forgot what the year of it was. I think maybe it was 2007 when they did the partnership with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that at that time, Ryan Washaka, who was the general manager of the Ice Hogs,
Sure.
and he had worked for us, and I had hired him with my team to stay on as the general manager for the Ice Hogs, and then Corey Pearson, who was the general manager of the Metro Center.
Okay.
Corey had to focus on the renovations of the $23 million, and he had to really work hard on that
big project.
Yeah, and then Ryan was tasked with working with the Blackhawks and putting together that partnership and making all that work. So there was a little bit of a void in there, which was helping with the premium seats and doing sponsorship and corporate sales and all that. So they invited me in, and we did that for 2 years. There was like a 2-year commitment where I just said, okay, I know Ryan well, I know Corey well, and they know me. So I said, as long as you can tell me what my parameters are and tell me what my guidelines are and just let me work within that, I'll come in and do it, and I'll help, because I saw again that was a big, opportunity for me to make an impact in the community and really help. So I'm really proud of that. When I look now, I don't go to a lot of the games, but it does give me a great amount of pride to see, how that keeps on thriving and growing.
Totally.
And so I love that.
Yeah. So that's been your mission, like all along, like looking into Rockford, just this be inspiring, like, to continue to like plant roots in here, to build into our community and all that. That's really huge. I saw this. I stole this off of your Facebook page. God hates loneliness, and community is God's answer to loneliness. When we walk alongside other people, we find a community where we learn how to love.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And looking at our transparency and trajectory conversation, how that goes along with going like, man, if you choose loneliness, like, unfortunately, like, we can choose that and we can choose not to, right? To be honest, to be open, to be transparent. So I thought that was a really interesting thing. I kind of went along with it, and I found it on your page. I stole it. Yeah,
I think it's good. Well, and I really think that loneliness can be a very dead-end street.
Sure.
It really can. Life is meant to be done together. It's not meant to be done alone. Life, much like fitness and a health-conscious journey, I think is also meant to be done together. It's really hard. There's not a lot of people. There are some. There's not a lot of people that can take their health-conscious journey and transform their health by themselves. They usually have to do it with a support group,
Totally.
Like here at Movement Fitness, or but it's really important. And I think life is meant to be done that way. I think a health-conscious journey is done. Loneliness, pity parties, stinking thinking, all that stuff. This life, we have to be mentally tough. And sometimes your mentally tough comes from other people.
Sure.
Sometimes, and it's kind of like at the workout, sometimes the workout needs you, sometimes you need the workout.
Yeah.
So really, and there's been several times in our 21-day sprint to confidence, and all that is about developing confidence. It's about making good decisions compounded over time and having results, and then looking back after 21 days and saying, I did that. I can do that. I can actually make it happen. I can drink more water, less of everything else. I can eat more real food, less of everything else. I can show up to workouts with other people that normally I would be scared to do it with, but I lock arms and we encourage each other and inspire each other and motivate each other. And then I leave there feeling absolutely fantastic. And I can even show up on sometimes when I don't want to, because I know that the outcome at the end of it is going to give me a positive feeling instead of a negative feeling. And we don't want to slip down into that lonely state. And we can do it quickly. So I really do think that that's why, again, to be inspired, be inspiring. And we take a look at, like what Ethan Taylor has done in this last year. Shout out, Ethan. Woo-hoo!
What's up?
And he loves his workouts.
131
pounds in exactly 365 days.
Woo!
Yeah. So amazing. And it was by changing his eating and eating food to fuel his body, and not consumption for comfort or consumption for convenience exclusively. And it was about drinking more water. And it was about, eliminating some of the junk, but also in order to get the mental clarity. And of course it was a lot of workouts. And he did that really, really well, but it helped him with mental clarity. And he talked about it just the other day. We were on the news, and he was talking about how he struggled with depression and over abusing some medication, and, stuff like that, and drinking a little bit too much and couldn't get out of bed. That's the mental state that we need to get ourselves past, because once you get to that point, that is a bad place to be. It's a bad place to be in.
Well, that's what, we've been talking about around here. And one of the things that really, like, so writing the book, Be Great Today. So that's coming out March 2019. Oh my gosh, a couple months away. Super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
But
can I get a signed copy?
Oh, dude, totally.
All
I
right.
don't know what it'd be worth for you, but all right. So, but here's, but in what he just talked about, all that thinking back through Ethan. So for those of you who don't know, Ethan Taylor, was actually a kid I knew and helped coach at Rockford Christian. You didn't know that on the front end of this, but on the back end, we remember that and figured it out. But ended up got into a place where he had put on a ton of weight, was very uncomfortable in his own skin. He was just, was significantly overweight, had some injury issues. And came to gym, and as part of that, and wanted to get healthy. Wanted to make sure he wasn't doing the wrong things and going down the wrong path. And ended up in 365 days, he's lost 131 pounds. And just continues to be an inspiration to a ton of people. But I think in looking at what he did is, the first thing is the problem is we often look for a strategy first. We go like, oh, what diet should I do? What workout should I do? Right. What place should I go? What should I do for this? But in reality, like, he did what we want, and that is, how do you change your state of mind? How do you get to a place to where you go, I'm going to surround myself with the right people. I'm going to be transparent with people. I'm going to tell them my problems. I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm over abusing this. I'm drinking too much. I'm not happy. I'm depressed. I put myself in those scenarios. But if you don't do that first, then what happens is he continues to go down that path. He may like, hey, I need some meals from Food for Fuel. But if he doesn't have the mindset and the change and the support group around it, then it doesn't work. Yeah. It doesn't last. Yeah. So that's what we often find that people end up failing, is they look for the strategy first rather than trying to change your state of mind and trying to get into the right place, so that when you have the strategy, that may change over time. Like as he develops and changes, like I'm sure that's going to look different for him fitness-wise. But as you continue to develop, I know for me, like I went from weight loss down 100 pounds and then going into bodybuilding, and that was a thing for me. And then I went back into powerlifting and athletes and all that kind of stuff. So it changes. The strategy can change, but if you have the state of mind and you know where you want to go, that can make a huge difference in what you're doing, who you are, and being transparent will help you to get on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, that's for sure. And when we sat down with Ethan 365 days ago, it really was, I said, man, are you really ready? Because if you're really ready, I can help elevate you. I can help put you out there. So, but it's an accountability factor. So it's going to be a lot of pressure because we're going to put you out there. You know? And he was with his mom and his two brothers, and he said, I'm ready. I mean, I got to do this. And so, and he, on my shirt, it had the Be Inspired, Be Inspiring. Yeah. He says, I want to be a part of that. Yeah. And that, is something that is like one of my goals, is to get there to where I can now reciprocate that and turn around and inspire other young kids, that might be having the same trajectory that he's had if they don't change something, or have somebody that comes in that cares a whole awful lot, to try to help them out. So it's been awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, Jim, you are an inspiration to me and to tons of other. I know that. We're giving away. So we got the $25 Food for Fuel gift card. So we're going to give this away. Hashtag Be Great Today. Hashtag movement. We also have our movement beanie that's upside down. Bam. We're going to do that. So we're going to give that away. So comment below. If this is something that you have found valuable and would love to share, please do that. That will also put you in the running for one of those prizes there. So we're excited about that. So in wrapping this up, so be transparent. Let it set you on an upward trajectory. Choose to get out there and to be around people that are positive and that are going to build up, and then also be the person to build up other people as well, so you can help lift others up to be an inspiration and to help wherever you're at. If you're in Rockford, obviously be a part of the movement to continue to help make Rockford a top 25 city by 2025. Like, we want to continue to build into that. Yep. And also Food for Fuel, Jim does an awesome job. I love it, obviously, as a fitness owner, going like, hey, there are people that we talk about meal prep, and we talk about eating well and doing that all the time, and there are times that people are on that and it feels great, and then there are times where they're not, and they're like, I don't know what to do, I'm directionless. There's times where we're busy and we're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I'm gone all day Sunday, I'm gone all day weekend, or all weekend, I can't meal prep, I can't do it. Or there's people that go, I don't even know how to do it. I don't want to do it. So how do I do that? And that's what you do. And, obviously, aside from the inspiration, the actual tactical part of what you're doing is Food for Fuel, so providing healthy meals for people. And you've got options for that. So for those that are interested, he's got, things like 7, 14, 21, 28-day healthy plans, like amazing energy bites and fruit Skittles. You got to be careful with those because you can still get carried away with those things.
That's for sure.
But I mean, talk a little bit about what that looks like and how you help people with the food and that perspective.
Perfect. Thank you. So we did, like I said, we're going into our 6th year now. It all started 8 years ago when my wife, my oldest boy, and I went on a journey, and for 90 days we lost about 69 pounds.
Nice.
And then we realized, for the next 2 years, I tried to help health coach a little bit and help people on their journey. At the end of that, I realized the biggest problem was we all had an unhealthy relationship with food. We've set a goal to lose 10 pounds because of a wedding coming up or because of this or because of that. And then we hit that, and then all of a sudden we go back to our old ways.
Sure.
And we get our old weight back plus some. But nobody really wants to be healthy temporarily. It's something that we want to have, permanently. We really want to be achieving that. So we thought, one of the biggest problems is having easy access to healthy, ready-to-go, nutritionally dense, portion-controlled meals. All you got to do is take the lid off, set it back on top, heat it up for 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and boom, you're good, right? So we thought we'd go ahead and we'd do that. And at the time, too, Rockford was the number 4 most obese city in the country, metropolitan city. And with that comes extreme cost, diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure. I mean, you name it, And so we thought we could help solve a problem and help impact our community in a healthy way. Over time, we realized that the health is not just in the food. I mean, it is in the food. It's not just in the body, the weight. It's also the mental. It's, the physical, the spiritual, the relational. It's all of that. So that's who we are and what we do. As far as, like you said, the tactical part, we do have weekly plans, monthly plans. We want to be everybody's number 2. So what that means is do your own meal prep on your own, learn how to do it, learn from your coaches, learn from your nutritionists, learn from us. And if you can't or don't have time, then lean on us to be your number 2. So you're consuming, you're not consuming for comfort anymore and packing on unnecessary weight, right?
Totally.
And we got, we're just there to help people on their health conscious journey. So most of our meals are like 4 ounces of protein, half a cup of carb, 1 cup of veggie. As you said, we do have a refrigerator here at Movement Fitness, so members can pick up their meals here after a workout. And if you live in this area and this is a close proximity for you, you can order it and pick it up here also during certain times on Mondays and Thursdays on our production day. We're inside the Carlson Ice Arena, and that has been our kitchen for 5 years now.
5 years.
So, we've been there for 5 years. And the Carlson Ice Arena, the Rockford Park District have been wonderful tenants and partners of ours. We're so grateful for them. During the time when I shut down the business, they knew that I didn't have the ability to pay, but they gave me a little bit of time. And then, of course, I had to, pay up when we got going, which was expected. But they gave me that grace that I needed in order to keep the business still alive. So I'm super grateful to that.
That's awesome.
But having the fridges here, and then people can come Monday and Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. to pick up out of our refrigerator. We're open up to the public, and we call that grab and go.
Grab and go, so you can do that. So that's super awesome. But I know, that's exactly, for us, we use Food for Fuel when we try to meal prep all the time. But there are just times, we've got travel ball that takes us away. Busy weekends, coming back going like, oh my gosh, there's just no chance. So Teresa will literally just look at me and go, I'm getting a hold of, we're doing food this week. It's delivered on Monday.
It's done.
Figure out your Monday morning, but the rest of it will be good. So most of the time she's amazing with her prep, but then you go like, man, we just have life. So we have life. So anyway, Jim is awesome. Food for Fuel is amazing and does great stuff. Don't forget, if you want to have an opportunity to win a $25 gift card, give you an opportunity to try out some of the stuff that Food for Fuel has. We have that. We have our movement beanie. Hashtag be great today. Hashtag movement. That's a good looking hat, but you don't want to mess up that hair. See, I don't have that problem. I can just put it on whenever I want.
It is a good looking hat, though.
Jay Bird, thanks for the comment. Love this talk. Care Bear, this was fantastic today. Appreciate it. We just put this content, this information together for you. Obviously, we do it for free live here. What we would love is if you could share this with someone. If it brought value to you, just share this information out so that way we can continue to help to make an impact in our community and our families and our friends, so we can continue to be inspiring. We are trying to inspire people here.
And we're trying to be great today, baby.
There you go. Right. So I like it. Rebecca.
Hey.
Yeah, this is just great. Thanks. So anyway, really, really looking forward to continuing this and just bringing people in that are making an impact. We love that. Jim, you're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. We want to keep supporting and helping. So thanks for being a part of it. And trying it out, man. Thanks, dude. This is awesome.
Hey, I just realized that if I stand up and you stand back, I actually look a little tall. There we go. I like that. I like that.
Perfect. So anyway, thanks, everybody. We love you guys. And don't forget, as always, to be great today.
Boom. See ya.